You know what's funny? I was thinking about this whole fucking cancel culture thing. And you know what the reality is nothing, you really can't cancel somebody. Like, unless you get the cops involved and they actually get arrested and they go to jail. You know, but as far as like this whole bullshit that you've been canceled, I've noticed with comedians at least, is they post shows and the shows still sell out. And then what happens is the people that said they were canceled, when they realize that they're not canceled, is they then bully and attack the promoter of the show to try to get the show canceled. That's what really happens. So that is one of those things that I just kind of hope goes away. Whenever we come back, that goes away, because that shit, it really just expanded beyond these abusive monsters that were out there and needed to be dealt with. It just sort of then expanded into, I don't like your thought process. Therefore, we've decided your career and your dream is over. It's just like, wait, what happened? When did it expand into this? Talk to me about your politics. I don't like those. Yeah. It's a great big fucking weird thing out there. Which is why I'm trying to make my life a little more simple. All right, censorship. Dear Billy Bubble Boy, I work for a small magazine, and in the last few years, the amount of censorship I've seen is incredible. Yeah, I don't doubt that. And I'm an older lady, and I've been writing for lifestyle and arts for 40 years. Every day now, I see some form of silencing or ostracizing over opinions. Yeah, and I bet it's coming from the left. Benign ones, too. From the left and from corporate lawyers who are trying to preemptively anticipate how these lefties are going to get these severe lefties are going to get offended. The diversity of ideas is almost dead. Our pitch meetings used to have really independent ideas. I assumed there would be a reversal, but instead it has become more vigilant. It's coming. It's coming. It's adjusted. It'll adjust back, and then they'll be in the middle again. I'm not speaking about controversial topics. For example, a piece on a newly discovered art from a particular part of the world was pitched to the editors, but because the region of the world the art came from is associated with taboo opinions, it could inadvertently upset a reader. Yeah, this is because of people on the left, the extreme people on the left. This is what they did to critical thinking, free ideas, and all of that. And they think that they are liberal, and they're not. They're dictators. It reminds me of the society my father grew up in Eastern Europe. All opinions published and taught in schools were subjected to a collective idea, always disguised as what's good for the people. Do you see a reversal in this? Would appreciate your insight. Yes, I do. And what it's going to take is people going out of your way to say exactly what the fuck you're thinking. I've been trying to do that with my stand-up act, I really have to work on pushing out, because there was like a 3-year period where I kind of gave into that. Oh, don't say that. Maybe if I say that, am I going to get in trouble? And I started alligator arming some shit. And then last summer I did the Chappelle retreat there out in Ohio, and there were no phones or anything. And I was like, holy fuck, this is the way it used to be. And I could say whatever I wanted. And I realized that because of these fucking lefty assholes, I had been censoring myself on stage, and I should not have done that. And so I think there needs to be an awakening, because I think a lot of people are doing what the place where you work at are actually doing it themselves. A lot of advice I get from my reps is don't do that. It's not worth it. Don't say this. Don't do a project about this. Don't stick up for this comic that's getting shit on. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I've pretty much ignored that for the most part. Those ones when people are getting canceled, there's that thing where it's like you want to support, but then you also don't want to keep it going. And you're kind of hoping it's one of those 3-day things and then nobody gives a fuck and they've moved on to something else. It's really a fucking shameful period. Much like the Red Scare. And just when this all is said and done and people look back on it, the amount of like really decent people who just didn't do anything wrong, who had their careers taken from them, it's just fucking, I don't know. It's just human beings. We're awful. All right, HOA bullshit continued. Oh, home organization association or something like that. This is when like people in a neighborhood want to pretend that they live in a gated community, but they don't. They just want to control who moves in and who doesn't. Once again, it's just one of those things that starts off, it's a great idea. Hey, we have a nice fucking neighborhood here. All it takes is one fucking jerk off to come in, knock a house down, and then build something that looks like a White Castle. That happened to a buddy of mine. The guy built, literally built a house that looked like a fucking White Castle, thinking his house looked like a castle. It doesn't. It looks like I can go in there and order those delicious, tiny little burgers. Oh, my God. I haven't eaten a White Castle in forever. Anyway, HOA bullshit continued. But then what ends up happening is it's just this great way to what's going to happen is you start the HOA is most people are going to sort of participate. And what's going to happen is these psycho control freaks, once again, will rise to the top, and then they will just start unleashing the psycho within. And then this is the vehicle. All right, HOA bullshit continued. Dear Billy, buckets of frankincense and Burr. I don't know what frankincense is. I know it's been a few weeks since you've talked about the horrors of neighborhoods with an HOA, so I figured I would rekindle the fire a bit. I love it. Last June, I bought a house that is in a neighborhood with an HOA, and while I knew beforehand that HOAs are usually a fucking scam, I really had no choice as most of the neighborhoods in my area have them. And plus, houses are so fucking expensive now. It's almost like if you can afford one, people just going to grab it, All right. Oh, well. Well, the house I bought had these boulders on the corner of the driveway and the street, probably to prevent people from driving on the grass. Fast forward a few months, I get an email from the HOA president, Christina, whom I always refer to in email replies as Christine in hopes to piss her the fuck off. Oh, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Anyways, she emails me telling me I need to remove the rocks or I'll be fined $20 a day after the 10th day if I do not remove them. So I go into Google Maps and I look at the street view from 2 years prior and I see the boulders sitting there, which means she just now decided to enforce this rule that causes no harm to fucking anyone. Like, what if you don't fucking... What jurisdiction do they have? No. I can't afford to do it. She goes, anyway, he goes, I removed the rocks and then emailed her back stating so. You should have put them in her yard. No, you know what you do? Just save one of them. Save one of them. Right? And then a few years later, like a psycho Irishman that never forgets, you throw it through her fucking bay window. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I removed the rocks and then emailed her back stating so and how they were in the 2-year-old street view pictures, and also asked her how one gets elected HOA president because I was interested in the job. Not surprisingly, she replied with a short thank you for removing the rocks without acknowledging any part of the email. Yeah, that's right, dude. You fucking go after her. To top it off, the cunt raised HOA dues by $50 a year for 2021, which can only be stopped if there is an 80% support against the rate raise. It's honestly hilarious to me how much of a power trip Christine is on telling other middle-class homeowners what to do. Fuck HOAs. Have a good weekend and go fuck yourself. Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. That is like, that would fucking eat me up inside. So your only thing that you can do is just keep doing more of that Christine shit to her. That's the only thing that you can do. And then run. And then what you have to do is just be a fucking salt of the earth guy for everybody else in that neighborhood. Run for fucking president and run on the platform. And if elected, I will not break your balls about fucking ticky-tack horse shit in your fucking yard. I will not allow crazy people to move in this neighborhood, but I will not tell you how tall your fucking shed can or can't be. Who the fuck isn't going to go with that?